Hello everyone and welcome to my bracket predictions for the 2018-2019 Stanley Cup playoffs. So the matchups are set, the dates are set, all the TV networks and all that are set. So now we're going to do my bracket predictions for this. Now, I had a really creative idea of spreading it out on the floor. Now the camera work and all that I had trouble doing, so just now I started to try to figure out, and this was the best angle I could put all the pennants in. So yeah, I have it up on a little locker with like a little black box thing holding the camera. So yeah, that's the best I could do, and I do apologize for that. But anyway, let's just get into the bracket predictions. I'm trying to pull up the standings here, so I have my bracket and all that, so yeah. And by the way, I do have a pennant from all 31 teams, or at least one. Some of them I have two for. About half the team I have two pennants for, and I had to make some out of paper, so yeah. I'm just gonna pull up the standings here. Excuse me. Alright, so first we're gonna start out in the West. Excuse me. So Nashville came first in the Central. They're gonna face the first wild card seed, and that's Dallas. So now, Nashville comes in with a 47-29-6 record. Dallas has a 43-32-7 record for 93 points. Nashville has 100 points straight. So, I haven't really seen that many Dallas games this year, nor Nashville Predators games. But to me, I think Nashville will be better in terms of goalies and stuff like that. I mean, no offense to Ben Bishop. I mean, he's a terrific goaltender, but I don't think he will pull through against Nashville. So that's why I'm going to go with Nashville, and I have them moving on. Next, we have the Jets in St. Louis with the Blues. Right, Winnipeg is second in the Central. They have a 47-30-5 record for 99 points. St. Louis has a 45-28-9 record for 99 points. They're third place in the Central. So to me, St. Louis, they were literally at like last place when January started. Now they're third in the Central. Great comeback story for the St. Louis Blues. Right now they're on a 2-game winning streak. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. So very good hockey by St. Louis. But to me, the Jets, they haven't looked good so far in their last 10 games at all. They're at 4-5-1, so I thought about going with St. Louis, but I am going to go with Winnipeg. Rematch of a second-round matchup last year. Oh, and by the way, I am going to do all 8 videos for each series, a preview of each series. And then at the end of round 1, we'll go through maybe 2 series at a time, 2 from the East. So about let's see. So we have 8 series, so plus 4 is 12. So basically 12 first round videos. including this one, which is the bracket predictions. And all my playoff videos and all that from the past will be in a whole playlist of its own as well. I'll have to create that. But anyway, back to the bracket predictions. Okay, so we're done with the Central. Right now, Calgary versus Colorado. Calgary comes in with a 50, 25, and 7 record. That is good for 107 points. They're a plus 62, so yeah, big. They have the highest plus minus of any team. Right now in the Western Conference, they have the best record in the conference. Best team in the Pacific, obviously, and they're going to play against the second wild card team, Colorado. They come in with a 38, 30, and 14 record for 90 points with a plus 14. So, yeah, I am going to go with Calgary to win this series. I would say Calgary in either 5 or 6, to be honest with you.
All right, so we have San Jose versus Vegas.
San Jose has a 46-27-9 record. That is good for 101 points. Vegas comes in with a 43-32-7 record. That is good for 93 points. I'm just in shock of what happened to Vegas last year. Their inaugural season, and they get to the Stanley Cup Finals. That is just incredible. Good for Vegas. But I hate to do this, but Vegas hasn't been doing that well this year, in my opinion. I haven't really watched many Vegas games, being here in the Midwest. It's Vegas Golden Knight games start at 9 or 9:30 here, so time different, or whatever, however you say it, time differential or whatever. I would punch myself in the face for doing this. I'm sorry, but I have to go with San Jose. I apologize, Vegas fans. So that's my second round.
So that's the second round of the West. We have the Predators versus the Jets, and we have Calgary versus San Jose. Now we'll go over to the East. We'll come back to the West for the second round predictions. In the West, the Capitals versus the Hurricanes.
To me, the Capitals are going to win in either a sweep or 5 games. I think Carolina's lucky if they win 1 game against Washington, to be honest with you. Okay, well, let's see Washington's record. Sorry about that. They're a 48-26-8 record. That's good for 104 points with a plus 29. So good for them. They did lose their last game to the Islanders. So yeah, who are also in the playoff race. They are
Playing the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Carolina comes in with a 46-29-7 record. That is good for 99 points.
And a plus 22. So
yeah, I am going with Washington in that series. The Islanders versus Pittsburgh.
Islanders come in with a 48-27-7 record. That is good for 103 points. Excuse me. Pittsburgh comes in with a 44-26-12 record. That is good for 100 points. They're a plus 32, and so are the Islanders. The Islanders
Is such an underdog story this year. I mean, really. I've been cheering for them all year long.
They have proved to me that they can do it without John Tavares. To me, at the beginning, when John Tavares got signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm like, okay, this is over. Islanders last in the whole entire conference.
That's what I was like for the New York Islanders. Up until mid-season when they were good, in a playoff spot, wild card spot. It was just incredible. But I am going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sorry, everyone, but yeah.
I think their hot streak comes to an end right here.
Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Do I really have to say anything?
Tampa Bay comes in. Listen to their record. 62, 16, and 4.
That is good for 128 points. Excuse me. 62 wins, ties an
NHL record for the most wins. Now, the only team that had 62 wins was the 1995-96 Detroit Red Wings.
So, yeah,
I don't really think I have to go in depth on why I'm choosing Tampa Bay to win. I think it's either going to be in 4 or 5 games. I think it's going to be done right out of the gate. Boston versus Toronto. I don't need to do any speaking on this one. Boston. But I will tell you their records in goal differential. Boston comes in with a 49, 24, and 9 record. That's good for 107 points plus 44. Toronto comes in with a 46, 28, 8 record. That's good for 100 points. And Columbus comes into the playoff race with the 47, 31, 4 record. That's good for 98 points and a plus 26. So, yeah, those are the second round matchups for these. The Washington Capitals versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins. So, yeah. And we'll do series previews for the second round, too. And actually, what we'll do when the second round's done, we're going to make a full recap of all the series. That's my plan. So, yeah. It's going to be maybe May 26th or April 26th or something like that we might actually get around to doing the other bracket predictions. So, yeah. Well, for the second round. All right, we'll head back west. Second round matchups. Nashville versus Winnipeg. I am going to go Winnipeg to win. To me, Winnipeg, they dominated Nashville last year, so I'm sure if they dominated Nashville last year, then I think they would win against Washington. So, yeah, Calgary versus San Jose. Calgary, they're just amazing. Calgary Flames are just amazing. So, yeah, that's why I'm going with Calgary. So those are the third round matchups in the East, or in the West. Third round matchups in the West. We have Winnipeg versus Calgary. So let's head out east to see who makes it to the conference finals. Washington versus Pittsburgh. I mean, I'm going to go with Washington. I hate seeing Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Even though I do respect all the success that they have and all that. So, yeah. Tampa Bay versus Boston. I don't need to explain this. Tampa Bay. I mean, what is there to say? All right. Conference finals in the West. We have Winnipeg versus Calgary and Washington versus Tampa Bay. So, let's start out west. Stanley Cup finals. Winnipeg versus Calgary. I am going to go with Calgary. I'm afraid Winnipeg's streak comes to an end again in the Stanley Cup Conference Finals. So, yeah. All right, we have Washington versus Tampa Bay. I don't need to do any talking. Tampa Bay again. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, so we have a rematch of the 2004 Stanley Cup Finals between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Calgary Flames. I mean, they both have at least 100 points. Both teams do. So, yeah, choosing this one was a hard run. But I ultimately Stanley Cup final. The winner of the Stanley Cup this year will be Tampa Bay Lightning, your 2019 Stanley Cup Finals. That's my prediction. You heard it here first. Here's the whole bracket in terms of Yep.
I'll try to keep one in the background of like the full series, so I'm still gonna try to figure out how I'm gonna do that, but we'll see.
I'm going to film 4 more videos right after this, but first I have to do some notes and all that. So, yeah. We will see you guys all in the next video.